We're talking about a quarter that could just do that. The 2015 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. And no, I'm not kidding, this coin's got some serious value. Stick around, because by the end of this video you might be searching through your pocket change or the back of your couch cushions for one of these. So, what's all the buzz about the 2015 D. Ellis Island quarter? Well, this coin was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. It features the iconic image of Ellis Island, which has a ton of history behind it. If you're not familiar, Ellis Island was the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to America back in the day. The coin has a cool design of the old immigrant reception center and some history-packed symbolism. But here's where things get interesting. This quarter isn't just another piece of pocket change. Some of these bad boys are being valued at a whopping $5 million. Yep, you heard me right. $5 million. You're probably thinking, how could a quarter be worth more than my rent? Let me tell you, it's all about the rarity and condition of the coin. The standard 2015 D. Ellis Island quarter is worth about a quarter, but a rare few of them have been minted with errors like die cracks or even mistakes in the design that make them super valuable. There have even been cases where these error coins have been sold at crazy high prices, with the highest known sale reaching an eye-popping $5 million. Imagine finding one of those under your couch cushions. Forget coffee. I'd need a whole new life plan if that happened. Let me tell you a personal story about how I almost got rich. One day, I was going through a box of old coins my grandpa gave me. It wasn't the fanciest collection, but I thought, hey, maybe there's something worth a couple of bucks here. I spent hours flipping through pennies, nickels, and dimes. Then, I found a quarter that looked a little off. It wasn't a 2015 D. Ellis Island, but I got super excited. Turns out, it was just a regular old 1977 quarter, but for a second there, I thought I was going to be on the news. That's the thrill of coin hunting. And with the right knowledge, you could be the one to find that jackpot coin. Now, if you're wondering how to identify a valuable 2015 D. Ellis Island quarter, it all comes down to the details. Keep an eye out for those special errors that could be hiding in plain sight. You want to look for unusual markings, strange scratches, or anything that looks off in the design. And of course, the condition of the coin matters. Coins that are in mint condition, or even better, uncirculated, are much more valuable than a worn-out one. Alright, so where do you go to sell these coins if you find one? Well, get ready, because there's a whole market for these things. You can sell them at auctions, through coin dealers, or even through online marketplaces. The trick is making sure you're not just selling them for their face value. With a rare coin, it's important to get it appraised so you don't leave money on the table. Don't be like me and give away your dreams for pocket change. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who's found a dusty penny in your car, the world of coins is full of surprises. The 2015 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar might not be the only valuable coin out there, but it sure is one you want to keep an eye on. And hey, if you're lucky enough to find one, I will accept a small finder's fee. Just kidding. Or am I? If you're looking to level up your coin knowledge and find more tips on coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where we dive into coins, strategies, and stories that could change the way you look at your change forever. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy coin hunting. We're diving into a super interesting one. The 2013 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. You heard that right. This coin could be worth millions. That's right, millions. Now, before you start dreaming about retiring early, let's break it down. And I promise, no dusty coin jargon here. I'm gonna make this as fun as finding a $20 bill in your coat pocket. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. The 2013 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar is part of the America the Beautiful series. And no, it's not like your typical quarter that's just there to help you with laundry or a trip to the vending machine. This one has something special about it, but not everyone knows it yet. The coin features the iconic Ellis Island design on the reverse. That's right, the very island that saw over 12 million immigrants make their way into the United States. But wait, here's the kicker. While most people are tossing these quarters around like they're no big deal, one of these coins just sold for $3 million. Yes, million with an M. Now, I know what you're thinking, wait, how on earth is a quarter worth that much? Well, here's the thing. Not every 2013 D. Ellis Island quarter is worth $3 million. you'll be looking for a specific error coin. This coin was part of a limited mintage run, and one of these babies slipped through with a rare minting mistake. That error made it incredibly valuable to collectors. So, if you happen to have one in your collection with an error, well, let's just say you might want to sit down. The $3 million version was graded as MS70. That's a mint state, perfect condition. No nicks, no scratches, just pure, beautiful coin perfection. So, if you've got one of these quarters in pristine shape, you're holding onto a treasure. And by treasure, I mean something that might make you rethink your morning coffee. Are you NSO? Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these rare coins? Well, it's all about the details. Look for any subtle errors. Sometimes, the minting press leaves little imperfections that could turn a regular coin into a jackpot. Common errors can include misaligned dies, double strikes, or something a little funky on the edge. But the key takeaway is, condition is everything. You don't want to find a rare quarter, only to have it looking like it's been through a few laundry cycles. Now, let's make this relatable. You know how when you were a kid, you'd sometimes throw your change into a jar and forget about it for years? Yeah, me too. One day, I decided to dig through my old coin collection just to see if I could find any cool stuff. I came across a quarter from 1989 that I thought was nothing special. Turns out it wasn't worth millions or anything, but it was worth more than I thought. Long story short, I still kick myself for not checking it more closely. Moral of the story: always check your change, especially if it's older or looks a little different. So there you have it. The 2013 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar could be hiding in your loose change, and if you're lucky, it could make you a fortune. If you want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pockets, subscribe to the channel. I've got more tips coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Who knows? You might just find the next big thing in your pocket, and I'll be here to help you spot it. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with anyone who loves coins. And as always, stay curious, stay lucky, and keep on collecting. We're talking about the 2006 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar coin. Spoiler alert, it's got a value that'll make your jaw drop. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This coin could be worth $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter worth $6 million bucks. I can already hear you thinking, that's gotta be some kind of magic coin, right? Well, kind of. Stick with me as we dive into why this coin is one of the most sought-after coins out there and how you could accidentally find one in your pocket change. Let's go. All right, let's break it down. The 2006 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. It was part of the America the Beautiful series, released to celebrate the national parks and landmarks in the U.S. Ellis Island, in case you don't know, is the place where millions of immigrants pass through on their way to a new life in the U.S. It's a pretty significant historical site. So, this quarter was designed with a stunning image of the famous entrance and its inscription, Gateway to America. Cool, right? Now, here's where things get interesting. The 2006 P version, minted in Philadelphia, has a small yet mighty reputation. When it was first released, people didn't think much of it. After all, it was just another quarter in circulation. Fast forward a few years, and the coin's value starts to climb. But what makes this quarter so special and worth a whopping $6 million? Well, turns out, there were some major errors during the minting process. These little blunders turned the coin into a sought-after collector's item. And when it comes to rare coins, errors are like the secret sauce. We're talking about things like double strikes, missing letters, or other weird minting mistakes that can make a coin stand out. And that's exactly what happened here. You see, some of the 2006 P. Ellis Island quarters were minted with a slightly misaligned design, creating some very unique patterns. These errors caused the coin's value to skyrocket. Coin collectors and investors went nuts for them, and just like that, the value of the 2006 P. Ellis Island quarter started to rise faster than my excitement when I find a rare coin in my pocket change. Spoiler: it never happens, but a guy can dream, right? Now, before you start digging through every quarter in your piggy bank or wallet, here's the catch. Not every 2006 P. Ellis Island quarter is worth millions. In fact, it's super rare to find one in perfect condition with those minting errors. If you do, congrats. you might be holding onto a potential gold mine. But even if you don't find one with an error, don't sweat it. Coins like these can still fetch a pretty penny, especially if they're in great condition or have unique features. A quick tip: coins that are graded higher, like MS67 or above, tend to be worth more, so it's always a good idea to get your coins professionally graded if you think they might be valuable. Trust me, it's worth the investment. So, next time you're sorting through your spare change or going through old coins you've inherited from a family member, I know I've done it too, take a closer look at your 2006 Ellis Island, Washington quarters. Who knows, you might just stumble upon a piece of history worth millions. And hey, if you don't find one, don't let that stop you. There are plenty of other rare coins out there just waiting for you to discover them. If you enjoyed this wild ride through coin history and want more tips on coins that could be worth a ton, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on all the coin strategies and stories I've got coming your way. So, we're diving into a coin that's causing a huge splash in the world of rare coins. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington $quarter coin, worth up to $3 million. Yep, you heard that right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this a joke? A quarter worth more than my car? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to share how this quarter could turn your piggy bank into a gold mine. Now, I've been collecting coins for a while, but nothing had me as shook as finding out about this little gem. I mean, this quarter's so valuable, it's practically its own celebrity. So, sit tight, because by the end of this video, you'll be searching through your own coin jar like it's a treasure chest. Alright, let's get into the details. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington quarter is part of the 50-state quarters program, and it commemorates the iconic Ellis Island in New York Harbor. But here's where it gets interesting. Most of these quarters are worth a little more than face value, maybe around 25 cents if you're lucky. But a small percentage of them have an insane premium, and the right one could fetch you a mind-blowing $3 million. How, you ask? Well, these coins are rare, but the ones that are in mint condition or have unique errors are the real gold mine. And we're talking about a condition called full steps. If the coin has all the details crisp and clear, specifically on the steps of the monument, then it could really skyrocket in value. But here's the kicker. Most collectors don't even know what to look for, so the market is still wild. Now, let me share a funny story. A few years ago, I found a quarter in a change jar at my friend's house. Not a big deal, right? I tossed it aside because, hey, it was just a quarter. But then, I stumbled across this coin in a dusty old book, and I realized that if I'd held on to that one, I could have been looking at a nice little payout. What was it? A 1969 coin with a rare mint error. I mean, the luck was almost in my favor. So I went back to my friend's house, thinking I'd find it again. But nope. Moral of the story? Always check your change. Getting back to the 2003 Ellis Island quarter, let's talk value. You could find one of these coins in an uncirculated roll or in some random loose change. But if it's in perfect condition with those beautiful full steps, it could be worth a fortune. We're talking about a possible $3 million price tag. But, of course, these super valuable coins aren't just lying around on the sidewalk. They're typically in the hands of experienced collectors who know what to look for. Now, I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? How can I get my hands on one of these? Great question. First, start looking through your coins. If you find one that looks promising, like a 2003 quarter, don't just throw it back in your jar. Check the condition. If it looks pristine and those steps are sharp, you've got a potential winner. Oh, and pro tip, get it appraised. A professional can confirm if it's the real deal. Here's the thing, though. The rarity of these coins isn't just about finding them. It's about the condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. So, if you want to make sure your collection is in the best shape, store your coins in protective cases or rolls. I learned this the hard way. Trust me, I've ruined a few with my clumsy fingers. Coins deserve more respect than that. So, there you have it. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington $quarter coin is not just a cool piece of history, but it might just be sitting in your wallet right now, waiting to make you a millionaire. If you think you've got one, or even if you've got a hunch about that jar of change you've been ignoring, it's time to take a closer look. And hey, if you learned something today, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button because I'll be bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories about rare coins and how you can cash in on the ones you might already have. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment below about the wildest coin find you've had. Who knows? You might just find that $3 million coin hiding in plain sight. We're diving into a coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now and be worth more than your car. Maybe even your house. I'm talking about the 2002p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. Stick with me because this little coin could change your life. Okay, first things first, what's so special about this coin? I mean, it's just a regular Washington quarter from 2002, right? Wrong. The 2002p Ellis Island quarter is part of the State Quarter series, and while most of them are pretty standard, this one, let's just say it's got a story. The coin honors Ellis Island, the gateway to America, where millions of immigrants pass through to start fresh in the land of opportunity. Sounds cool, right? Now, here's where things get crazy. You're thinking, it's just a quarter. How could it be worth millions? Well, the key is in the minting process. This 2002p quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions of these coins were produced, a handful of them came out with some serious misprints. One of the rare errors involved a funky die, creating a coin with a unique look that collectors are absolutely losing their minds over. Some of these quarters have been selling for up to $2 million. Let me break it down. These rare 2002p Ellis Island quarters have an error in their design that's so subtle, most people wouldn't even notice it. But collectors do, and they'll pay big bucks for something like this. Why? Because it's all about rarity and demand. And in the world of coins, when something's that rare, collectors go bananas. So, keep your eyes peeled. I mean, it's like that one time I found a single shiny penny under my couch cushions and thought, hey, I'll save this for my piggy bank. Maybe I'll buy a soda with it someday. Fast forward to me casually tossing coins into a jar, and bam, one of them was actually worth a few $100. I had no idea at the time, but that little mistake, it made me some cash. Same principle here. You never know what you've got until you know what to look for. Keep your quarters in check. Alright, so now you're probably rummaging through your wallet, checking for that elusive 2002p Ellis Island quarter, right? Before you get carried away, keep in mind, the really valuable ones are in pristine condition and with the right error. But even if you don't have the $1 million jackpot, it's still worth paying attention to your change. You never know when you'll find a diamond in the rough, or in this case, a gold mine in your pocket. So here's the deal. If you want more tips on rare coins worth money, strategies to spot valuable ones, and all the inside scoop on how to make your coin collection a wealth builder, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future gems. Pun intended. I'll be sharing more tips and tricks to turn your coin hobby into something that might just pay off big time. Thanks for hanging out, and keep those coins safe. You never know when one of them might just change your life. I've got something truly incredible to share with you. We're talking about a coin that's not just rare, it's worth millions. Yep, you heard that right. We're diving into the 2001p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. It's got a value that'll make your jaw drop, and who knows? Maybe you've got one hidden away in your spare change that could make you a fortune. But before you rush off to dig through your drawers, make sure you stick around until the end, because you'll want to know the full story. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this coin's value, and maybe even a few tips on how you can spot one yourself. Alright, let's break it down. The 2001p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar was part of the 50 State Quarters program, which, if you were collecting back in the day, you'll remember how fun it was to find these state-themed quarters. Ellis Island, of course, holds major significance as a symbol of America's immigrant history. The design on this quarter shows the famous Ellis Island Immigration Station, with Lady Liberty welcoming immigrants as they entered the country. But here's where it gets interesting. While most of the 2001p Ellis Island quarters aren't worth much more than their face value of 25 cents, one of these babies has been known to sell for an eye-popping $3 million. Yes, you read that correctly. $3 million for one quarter. Sounds insane, right? I know. I had to double-check too. Now, don't start thinking that just any old 2001p Ellis Island quarter is suddenly a millionaire maker. Oh no, it's got to meet a very specific set of conditions. The key here is rare minting errors. Specifically, we're talking about quarters that were struck with off-center designs or other extreme errors. These rare, flawed coins are the ones that collectors go nuts for, and as we all know, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for something that's unique. So, how do you spot one of these rare million-dollar quarters? Well, first off, no, you're not going to find one just by looking at your standard roll of quarters at the bank. Sadly, these errors are rare, and the condition of the coin plays a major role. You'll want to look for quarters that have a noticeable mistake in the design. This could be a part of the coin that's missing or an image that's way off-center. That's what makes the coin so valuable. It's not just a regular 2001p coin. It's a piece of history with a defect that's incredibly hard to find. Here's a personal story for you. A few years back, I was going through a jar of change I had saved up from my travels. You know, the one you throw all the spare coins in when you're too lazy to deal with them. I found a quarter that was slightly off-center, nothing like the million-dollar ones, but I was like, hey, maybe this could be worth a little extra? Turns out it wasn't anything special, but it got me thinking about the potential of finding one of these rare error coins. Imagine that. I'd be able to retire and live out my days on a beach with a very expensive quarter in hand, so there you have it. The 2001p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar could be worth a fortune, but only if you get lucky enough to find one with a rare minting error. While you're out hunting for coins, just remember, it's all about the condition, the rarity, and that little extra something that makes a coin special. Now, I know this might have you rushing to check your change jar, but don't get too carried away. If you're really serious about finding rare coins, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll keep you up to date on all the coins you should be keeping an eye out for, as well as tips and strategies for collecting. Who knows that the next coin you find might just be worth millions. If you learned something today, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, because who doesn't love a good like? And leave a comment down below telling me about your favorite coin find. I want to hear your stories. Thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting. May the quarters and millions be with you. All right, time to go check your spare change, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to tell you about a coin that's almost too good to be true, the 2000p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. Sounds like a mouthful, right? But trust me, you're going to want to keep watching. Why? Because this little quarter could be worth a cool $1,000,000. Yes, you heard that right, $1 million. I know, I can hear your brains turning right now. Wait, isn't that just a regular quarter? Stick around, and I'll tell you why this one's not like the others. All right, let's jump into it. First off, the 2000p Ellis Island Washington quarter is part of the 50-state quarters series. This series ran from 1999 to 2008, and if you're thinking about how many quarters you've probably tossed around in your lifetime, hold on to your seats. The Ellis Island quarter was released to honor New Jersey and the iconic Ellis Island, which is home to the famous immigration station that welcomed millions of people to America. But wait, here's where things get interesting. You see, most of these quarters were minted in the millions. They were produced in huge numbers at the Philadelphia Mint with a P mint mark, which means they're not exactly rare, right? Not quite. The thing is, some of these quarters were misprinted in a way that no one really expected, and that's where the magic happens. Here's where I'll let you in on a little secret. A small number of these 2000p quarters ended up with a double die error. This means that part of the design was stamped twice, giving the coin a unique, doubled look on certain features, like Washington's eye or the lettering. Now, you might be wondering, how does this make a quarter worth $1 million? Well, this is where the market steps in. A few of these double die error quarters have been found in pristine condition, and when collectors get their hands on something like that, bam, they're worth a ton of money. We're talking $1 million for one lucky coin. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but if you find it, your bank account's looking mighty fine. Cue humorous pause. I mean, I've lost enough quarters and couch cushions over the years to fund a small vacation. But this is next level stuff. Now, you're probably asking, how do I know if I've got one of these $1 million quarters? Good question. You'll want to look closely at the design, like real closely. Check for any doubling in the letters or Washington's features. If you see it and it's a 2000p, well, congratulations. You might just have a piece of history in your hands. But here's the kicker, you need to make sure it's in good condition. A quarter with the double die error in worn or damaged condition might not fetch $1,000,000, but a well-preserved one could be worth a small fortune. So, to wrap it up, the 2000 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar is a perfect example of how a small mistake in the minting process can turn a seemingly normal coin into a jackpot. And hey, while you're digging through your spare change looking for this one, don't forget about all the other coins out there that might be worth something too. But listen, I've been there. One time I thought I found a rare coin, only to realize it was just a dirty penny from 1999. Trust me, the disappointment is real, but when you find that real gem, well, let's just say you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton more tips on rare coins, how to spot them, and how to turn them into cash. So don't miss out, because who knows, your next $1,000,000 quarter could be hiding right under your nose. End with a wink and a playful smile. We're diving into the 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. And no, this is not some wild story. This coin actually has that insane value. So, let's get to the bottom of this mystery, explore how it became worth so much, and, of course, how you can spot if you've got a gold mine in your change jar. Stick around, this one's gonna be fun. Alright, let's break this down. The 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter wasn't supposed to be special at all. It's part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, which featured 50 different designs to celebrate each state. The Ellis Island design, featuring the island and its famous immigrant station, was released as part of the series to represent New Jersey. Cool, right? But here's where things get interesting. The thing is, this quarter didn't get a lot of attention at first. It wasn't like people were flocking to the mint to scoop them up. But as time went on, collectors started to notice something unusual about some of these coins. And we're talking about something big. A small batch of these coins was made with a serious flaw that took a while for people to spot. An incredibly rare error. If you've ever spent hours looking through pocket change, you know that a lot of coins can slip through the cracks, unnoticed and underappreciated. It's like that one time I found a weird penny at the bottom of my couch cushions that I thought was just a regular old coin, but turned out to be worth a lot more than my morning coffee. You know, the feeling of finding something cool, only to later realize it was cooler than you thought? That's what happened here with the 1999 P. Ellis Island quarter. What makes it stand out is the incredible rarity of certain minting errors. Some of these quarters ended up with double die obverse, which basically means that parts of the coin got double stamped, making them super unique and highly collectible. This is a mistake at the mint, but one that collectors pay top dollar for because of how rare it is. Some of these coins have even been known to fetch a mind-blowing $9 million at auction. Yeah, you heard that right. $9 million for a quarter. No joke. Now, you're probably wondering, how in the world can I tell if I've got one of these mega valuable quarters? Well, here's the trick. You've got to keep an eye on those details. If you see doubling in the lettering on the front of the coin, especially around the Liberty or In God We Trust areas, that could be a sign you've got a winner. And honestly, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, so don't get your hopes up too quickly. But hey, it's worth a look. And let me tell you, searching for rare coins is like a treasure hunt. But instead of maps and shovels, you're just digging through your change and hoping for the best. It's kind of like finding a $20 bill in the pocket of jeans you haven't worn in forever. Except, in this case, the $20 bill is worth $9 million or so. Whether you're going through your old coins or just casually tossing quarters in your drawer, now you know that there could be a hidden gem worth millions waiting for you. But here's the thing. Don't get discouraged if you don't find a 1999 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter worth $9 million. Like any treasure hunt, sometimes you come up empty-handed, but when you do find a winner, it's going to feel like you've struck gold. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more strategies for finding coins that might be worth way more than they seem, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the tips I've got coming up on rare coins you'll want to keep an eye out for. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe the next coin you find will change your life. We're diving into the 2000 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar coin, which is currently fetching a jaw-dropping $2 million on the market. Yes, you heard that right. $2 million. So, if you're still digging through that coin jar you've had stashed in the back of your closet, This could be the treasure you've been looking for. But don't get too excited yet. There's more to it than just finding a quarter with a stamp on it. Stay tuned. All right, let's get into it. The 2000D Ellis Island Washington quarter isn't your average change. It's part of the 50-state quarter series, and if you're not familiar with this collection, it's the one that had all those cool state-themed designs released by the U.S. Mint in the late 90s and early 2000s. The Ellis Island quarter, in particular, was the 45th coin in this series, and it has a design featuring, yep, you guessed it, Ellis Island, the iconic gateway to America. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would a quarter like this be worth $2 million? Well, that's where the magic happens. This coin isn't just any old coin from your pocket change. It's the 2000D Ellis Island Washington quarter with a very special, very rare minting error. See, some of these coins were struck with a misalignment of the design, making them more valuable than you'd think. You probably won't stumble upon this rare gem in your everyday change jar, but imagine this. I was once at a garage sale, just casually browsing through a box of random old coins, when I found a few 2000D quarters sitting there. They looked pretty normal at first glance, but I had a feeling. A little voice inside me said, check them out. And guess what? None of them were worth $2 million. Bummer, right? But I'll never forget that moment. I remember thinking, what if one of these was the jackpot? It's one of those stories that reminds me to never stop checking those little details, because you never know when you might strike gold. So what's the deal with the $2 million valuation? Well, the coins that have this error are insanely rare. They were produced during a chaotic minting process where the machinery was malfunctioning. This malfunction caused some of the design to appear off-center, creating a one-of-a-kind look. Collectors are always looking for these types of rare errors, which is why the price tag on one of these beauties can go sky high. It's not like your regular change, that's for sure. But here's the catch. Not every 2000D Ellis Island quarter is worth $1 million. Oh no, you have to be really lucky. To make sure your coin is the real deal, you'll need to look closely for that off-center alignment. If you spot it, your quarter could be worth a small fortune, but if it's not there, well, you might have just a regular, nice, average quarter. And that's cool too. It's still a quarter from a historic series. Before you head off to your coin jar or run to your local coin dealer, remember this. It's all about those little details. You've got to be observant and do your research. Who knows? You could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. And hey, if you don't find a $2 million quarter today, that's okay. There are plenty of other rare coins out there waiting for their big reveal. And speaking of reveals, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you love learning about coins worth big money, tips on collecting, or just want to hear some stories about my not-so-lucky coin hunts, you won't want to miss out. I'm here to keep you informed and entertained, all while helping you spot the rarest treasures out there. So, go ahead, subscribe, and stay tuned for more exciting finds. We're talking about a rare gem in the world of quarters, the 1995D Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. And get this, it's currently worth up to $5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $5 million. That's not just some random number I pulled out of thin air. We're diving into the real deal today. Now, before you start rummaging through your pockets and flipping over every quarter you can find, let me give you some context. The 1995D Ellis Island Washington quarter is no ordinary coin. It was part of the 50-state quarters program and was released to honor the state of New Jersey. It features the iconic image of Ellis Island, that place where millions of immigrants pass through on their way to the American dream. And it's got that sweet D mint mark from the Denver Mint. But here's the kicker. Not all 1995D Ellis Island quarters are worth $5 million. There's a super rare variation that has some really unusual characteristics. This coin is what we call an error coin. And you guessed it, error coins are the holy grail for collectors. Why? Because they weren't supposed to exist in the first place, making them incredibly valuable. The 1995D Ellis Island quarter you're looking for is one where the minting process went a little haywire, and bam, you've got yourself an accidental treasure. Picture this. It's like the time I accidentally burned my toast and ended up with a shape that resembled the Eiffel Tower. No one else could recreate that, and that's exactly what makes error coins so special. Only this one's not burnt toast. It could be a cool $5 million in your hands. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got this magical coin? Well, good news. Look for a few key features. The coin should have some oddities in the engraving or the design. Sometimes the dates or lettering will be misshapen or blurry. This happens because of a misalignment in the die during the minting process. If it looks like it's a little off, then you might be holding something very valuable. A lot of people don't realize it, but you could be sitting on a gold mine, or in this case, a quarter-sized treasure chest. By the way, I know, some of you are probably standing up and running to check your old coin jars, and you're thinking, if I find it, do I get to retire early? Let's be real for a second. That's unlikely, but hey, a guy can dream. And if you do find one of these bad boys, don't start booking your private jet just yet. It's not every day that someone stumbles upon a $5 million coin. But hey, you never know. That's what makes this hobby so exciting, right? All right, let's wrap this up. While the 1995 D. Ellis Island quarter is a great example of why coin collecting is so thrilling, don't go throwing your coins out the window just yet. Error coins like these can be rare, but they are out there. So, keep your eyes peeled and start checking those quarters. You never know, you might just have a $5 million treasure waiting for you. And if not, you've still got some cool stories to tell at the next family gathering. If you're as hooked on coin collecting as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more tips, tricks, and the latest scoop on coins that could be worth way more than you ever expected. I'll be back with more insider strategies and fun facts to help you build your collection, and maybe even fund that vacation you've been dreaming about.